Welcome back to another Nexus Pro video. This video is completely dumb. It's full of trolls and whatever else you could think of, I guess. The Nexus Pro is absolutely amazing. I'm not gonna talk about it, but yeah. So most of you know, you can take out the spring by simply removing this end cap that comes on the back of the buffer tube. And it will come out something like this with a little rest, so a plastic rest, so it's not metal and plastic, it's not hurting it too much, and you get like 1 FPS off of it, and it can be used as a spring spacer, which I've already made videos on this if you want to go see it, and then you put on the stock and buffer tube, obviously, that's where it goes. Notebooks, okay? This is weird, trust me, this is gonna be a really weird video. Notebooks tend to have like like the pages here and like that little like ding. Yeah, okay, anyways, this is just the weakest spring. This is fully plastic. I can literally compress the whole thing in my hands, unlike the Nexus Pro spring where it is about physically impossible to compress it with your hand. Unlike this thing, it is insanely weak. It takes zero effort, just about, and it's so bendy that this thing's automatically warping. Unless you have to put pressure to the Nexus Pro spring. Anyways, about springs, there's a Cetus spring, and then there is the Cetus spring is 16 kilograms, and there's one on AK Blaster Rod that's 12 kilograms. That should get you 170. I've already ordered that thing. That one's coming in. So we're gonna do a whole lot of spring stuff, kind of in this little area here. Anyways, let's put this in the Nexus Pro and see how it works. You're probably not gonna be surprised. Nexus Pro spring. Well, this is actually the fake one. It's literally plastic, and the end cap goes on. There's a good bit of pre-compression, but I could use my pinky to compress that, and then slaps on, and it's pretty solid too. Oh yeah, you can't look through there, but anyway, it's in there now. But the prime, right? The prime weight. I just catched it. The catch is harder to pull than the spring. Now this is an insanely light spring, dude, and when it fires, you can barely hear it. Well, actually, you can hear the spring hit the plunger too. We can hear the amount of time it takes. Like, actually, listen. And you can't shoot a dart because the performance is unnecessarily low because it's plastic and it's not like metal or stainless steel, and it can't even shoot a dart. With that being said, we're gonna make it shoot a dart. Now, this spring is gonna need a spring spacer. Now, this will do nothing. Only thing this little spring spacer thing is gonna do is give it like 2 to 5 FPS at most. This is doing clearly about nothing to it. I'm gonna put it in so you can see. You can barely hear it. But it is definitely traveling faster, because there's more compression built up into the system, obviously. So now let's try this. Oh shoot, this. This is gonna get you probably 10 FPS. Well, I don't even think the spring's getting 10 FPS. So I'll just say it's getting like maybe 5 or 6 at most. So we're just gonna skip that, and we're gonna add on these caps. These caps are size comparison. I got 3 of them. This is the max caps. This is as big as a spring spacer as it can take. So this is a spring spacer right here. This is how much pre-compression we're gonna have to build up into the system. Now, doing this with the Nexus Pro spring, you could probably barely prime the thing, and these pieces of plastic would probably break. With that being said, I do have more of these, but it wouldn't catch because there's too much pre-compression built into the system, and the spring cannot compress anymore. So don't force it. Anyways, we're just gonna go ahead and install this into our system here. We'll put on the black piece first, and then we'll put on 1 cap, 2 caps, slapping it right in the buffer tube, 3 caps. So you have 3 caps built in, And then our last cap for a most amount of pre-compression. Slap it in there. And you can see it's kind of wanting to go back. It doesn't really want to get all that. And it's for some reason it's doing that. I don't know. But hey, this is it. Then put on our end cap. Keep it all solid. Now, the priming draw is still way too light to even be felt. A toddler could prime this thing. Totally normal. I can do it with my foot. But I'm not going to show you that. Anyways, I can do it on the side of my head, like, boom. Oh, shoot. It's not catching. It was catching before. Why isn't it, hold up, why isn't it catching now? It was catching before. Oh, hold up, guys. I might have to remove one of these caps. I don't know why it's not catching now. It was literally just catching before I made this video. I don't know what's going on here. Anyhow, it is catched. And we'll shoot. Now, this is probably a dry fire safe spring. You're only getting 10 FPS, so moves much faster. Moves a decent speed. And then, we're going to prime it one more time. Let's see if it shoots. Now, if you put a scar on this thing, and it somehow comes out the barrel, I love you. Because this thing is probably impossible. So we're going to go ahead and do a little breech load here. And we're going to see if it will fire. Because it's not going to... It didn't fire with any of the spring spacers on it that I put on it. So, we have the Adventure 4 short dart loaded. Okay. Make sure it has a nice, good seal. And please tell me it'll fire. Nope. You can barely even hear the plunger tube move. Like, dude. I wouldn't even say it's moving the dart. Because you can barely hear it move. You can barely hear the plunger tube interact with the plunger rod to interact with anything. You can barely hear it. So this, completely useless. Now let's just go ahead and add in the stock spring. We have to, oh yeah, this is how much pre-compression it has to get. How much compression total it has to get to you know, let's pop that shot. Boom. Easy. Anywho, I would not recommend, well, if you really want the spring, it comes out of a notebook. So you don't have to pay anything for it unless you have to go buy a notebook. But I don't think you would have to buy a notebook. I think you'd probably have one. But anyways, that's pretty much the video. We're just kind of doing dumb stuff with springs all of a sudden now. And just for clarification, this is definitely getting below 10 FPS. 100% on stock. And without the spacers, it's probably getting 15 at most. You know what? I wouldn't even say it's getting 15. I would still say it's probably getting like 10. Sorry. Because you can barely hear it. I can prime faster than the spring can move, is basically what I'm trying to say. But nonetheless, it's plastic. And it can't even shoot. It can't even shoot, which is literally crazy. We're going to add on our scar. I have a whole video on this 3D printed scarf mounted darts. You want to go check that out, by the way. It's the video right before the video before this one. Anyways, that's literally all we have today is dumb spring stuff. Now, I do think the spring compressed all the way. When we had all of the spacers on it. I mean, this is full compression. I can fully compress it. This is how weak it is. It's crazy. I mean, I couldn't even compress a quarter of this. Like, dude, it's literally crazy. Now, a Cetus spring, this thing would warp. It'd probably warp the nexus. The nexus would probably be warped and turn around upside down if you put a 16 kilogram. I ain't doing all that. I mean, after I get the worker metal kit, I might slap a 16 kilogram in there. I don't know. I might. At most, I'd only do like 10 shots with it. Just to see how it'd perform. I'm not going to break my arm, injure my arm for that. Like, dude, no. Well, anyways, one last thing. I did put an O-ring back here. just for the fun of it. You know, a little bit more pre-compression, you know, a little spring spacer, little bit of some. Anyways, just kidding. That's it for today's video. Shoot. If you enjoyed today's video, my TikTok and Instagram link will always be in the description, and that's literally it. Goodbye. Oh yeah, if you're wondering, one last thing, if you're wondering where I got these pieces from, I'm not sure. So I didn't order them anywhere. I just found them.